And to finish up with desmosomes, again, they are really strong junctions between adjoining cells that prevent cells from getting pulled apart or stretched apart, that resist stretching and pulling stresses. Okay, let's look into the life cycle of a cell, or like the life history of a cell. So cell division is essential for life, for growth, development of the organism, and maintenance of the organism once you reach adulthood. Two basic steps or stages in cell division: DNA replication or duplication, and then the cell division for mitosis. So mitosis is cell division for maintenance of the organism or growth of the organism. So when you were a child, you were much smaller than you are now. So you grew by adding many, many more cells to your body through mitosis, cell division. Okay? So the life cycle of a cell has two basic phases. Here in blue is interphase, and then in red, what we call the mitotic phase, just the M part here. The most important part of the interphase in terms of cell division is the copying, the replication of the DNA. Then once that occurs, the cell is ready to divide into two cells, and that's the main purpose of the mitotic phase. The mitotic phase has technically what's called mitosis, which includes prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, which separates the copied genetic material. And the mitotic phase also includes cytokinesis, which is the physical separation, division of the one cell into two cells. And as biologists, we get lazy and we just call the whole thing mitosis, even though the whole thing is technically the mitotic phase. So in interphase, the cell does what it normally does, prepares for cell division. In the subcomponent or subphase of interphase called the S phase. S for synthesis, meaning the DNA molecule gets copied, synthesized. The mitotic phase including mitosis and cytokinesis. So in interphase, the DNA material gets copied or replicated. Mitosis, the genetic material now in condensed form called chromosomes, gets pulled apart, separated in the mitotic phase of mitosis. So the steps of the mitotic phase of mitosis are prophase, metaphase, and then anaphase and telophase. So in prophase, the chromosomes condense and form. You can see them as these dark structures within the central part of the cell. The centrioles form mitotic spindles that attach onto the chromosomes and move the chromosomes, and the nucleus dissolves. As we see here, there's a nucleus here, and the nucleus dissolves during prophase. In diagrams, the chromosomes are often indicated by these X-shaped structures. In metaphase, the microtubules of what's called the mitotic spindle, move the chromosomes to the middle of the cell, what's referred to as the metaphase plate. Middle for metaphase, okay? You see them lined up here in the middle of the cell during metaphase. The chromosomes are in the middle of the cell. Next phase of mitotic phase of mitosis, or the mitosis of the mitotic phase, is anaphase, where the chromatids, you can think chromosomes, they get separated apart. And once the chromatids are separated, they're technically called chromosomes. And notice that they're moving apart from each other here. In metaphase, they were all aligned together. Okay? So apart for anaphase. Then the next phase, telophase. The nuclei form around the chromosomes now. The chromosomes decondense and form chromatin. And then in cytokinesis, which starts to occur during telophase, the cell starts to divide in half, forming a cleavage furrow, And when the cleavage furrow splits the cell in half, you have two daughter or progeny cells, which is the end result of mitosis. They're genetic copies of the original parental cell, ignoring any potential mutational changes. So here's a summary of mitosis, and I'm sorry that some of the pictures didn't pop up. This happens sometimes with PowerPoint, but this is figure 217 in your textbook. Okay, so continuing here, cytokinesis, the physical separation of the cell, the parental cell, into two daughter cells. Cell division, basically. It overlaps even with Anaphase somewhat, but particularly with Telophase. And you can see in the micrograph here in the picture that the cell is clearly dividing into two. And the division part of the mitotic phase is cytokinesis. The cleavage furrow forms two daughter cells. Once the cleavage furrow physically divides the cell, the one starting cell, into two daughter cells. Okay, that's it for this chapter.